Happy Friday, good morning. I just drove back into town from Sedona and was fortunate to have 2 nights off and enjoying different temperature and different skies and just being out in nature. And I've continued our topic keyword for this week on listening by really practicing to listen this week. And I'm curious in how you have perceived that exercise practice, but we're continuing exactly with that. How can we expand our ears? How can we tune in differently? How can we be observant with our senses to what's happening not only around us, but inside of us? And also, how can we be better listening partners to people who share their stories, which is, I think, a really important practice to get deeper into it. So we'll do some breathing this morning and then some grounding and other parts of yin-ish combos. It'll be a potpourri today. So find your seat and close your eyes. And tap into the breath, in and out through the nose. Notice the regularity, the character of your breath. And while you do that, also find your anchoring through your sitting bones and connect with the earth deeply. That can mean wiggle, the lengthening up the spine, maybe rolling the shoulders, wiggling the upper body, whatever it is that gives you that feel of locked in, arrived, settling in. Take your hands, rub them together, create that nice warmth between the palm of your hands. Right hand on belly, left hand on heart. And while you continue to breathe, I'll read the quote for today, which is by Jiddu Krishnamurti from the Book of Life. How do you listen? Do you listen with your projections, through your projection, through your ambitions, desires, fears, anxieties, through hearing only what you want to hear, only what will be satisfactory, what will be gratify, what will give comfort, what will, for the moment, alleviate your suffering? If you listen through the screen of your desires, then you obviously listen to your own voice. You are listening to your own desires. And it is there any other form of listening? Is it not important to find out how to listen not only to what is being said, but to everything, to the noise in the streets, to the chatter of the birds, to the noise at the tram car, to the restless sea, to the voice of the partner, to your friends, to your families, to your kids, to the cry of a baby. Listening has importance only when it's not projected one's own desires through which one listens. Can you put aside all these screens through which we listen and really listen? Place your hands in front of heart space, Anjali Mudra, and take exactly that moment for either intention setting or just listening. What do you hear? What are you aware of? What can you filter out? And what can you get deeper into by opening your inner ears? We start with 3 beautiful sound of Oms. Deep breath in. Bowing to your heart, And then lower the hands down, keep your eyes closed, and bring the right palm inside the left palm and rest the palms like a little nest on top of your cross-legged feet. Go back to in and exhales through the nose and observe and find regular length on in and exhale. And then on your next breath in, breathe all the way in through the nose, all the way up through your third eye. Feel like a waterfall is coming over your head, washing down your back like a spiral all the way down to the tip of the tailbone. And then breathing out and relaxing at the bottom of the exhale. Then taking the breath in and picturing again the breath comes pulling up over your head. On your exhale, gently washes the back. So it's like a cycle in two parts. The inhale is the lifting up the breath over your head. The exhale is bringing the breath over your back, around your tailbone, to your seat. It's like you're scooping up the breath on the inhale. And then you're sharing it on the exhale. And see if you can keep the same length on the inhale as on the exhale. And once you've found a rhythm, you add a little breath control, kumbhaka, at the top of the inhale. You pause. And then the exhale, let the air run like water down your back. And on the bottom of the exhale, you pause again for a second before you take your next breath in. Next time you exhale, drop the breathing technique. Return to regular in and exhales. And then gently open your eyes. And we get up to standing for a little bit of movement. So what we want to do first is harvest a little bit off the earth energy and to ground ourselves. So bring your feet hip distance apart, lift the toes, spread them wide, root through the feet into the earth. And on the inhale, reach up. And then on the exhale, you breathe and press gently the air down. Then you bow forward, reach back up, and press the earth gently down, or actually the energy, not the earth, the energy into the earth. So we're harvesting, picking it up, and we're returning it gently down. We do that a few more times. So feel again like you're scooping the energy up, and then it comes through you back down into the earth. Last one. And then just breathing in, reaching up. And exhale, bring the hands back home to the heart. Next one is a little bit for balancing and also foot and toe work. So on the inhale, you reach up. And on the exhale, you do a and shout it all through your feet out. So inhale, reach up, come high onto your tippy toes. And then exhale, bring the heels down. Inhale, reach up, high onto your tippy toes. And breathe it out. Inhale, reach up, balance on your toes. Breathe it out. Inhale, reach up, high onto your tippy toes. And one more time. Last one. Inhale, reach up. And breathe it out. And then shake it out. Do a couple shoulder rotations. We're getting here onto the wall. For first, some shoulder arm stretch. So be parallel to the wall. And come a little closer in so that your hip isn't necessarily touching, but you can really reach with your right arm all the way back, parallel to the floor. Roll the left shoulder up, back, and down. Feet hip distance apart, parallel. Feel like somebody's pulling on your extended arm backwards and pulls lovingly, giving you a little bit even more of a stretch. Tendency is to rotate the body to the wall, so we want to do the opposite. We want to gently take it away from the wall. That's where you can double check, rolling left shoulder up, back, and down. Maybe even look over your left shoulder. Couple more breaths. And then reach with the arm all the way up. Feel that length. Draw the right shoulder blade on your back. And then exhale, release. Couple of shoulder rotations back and forth. And then turn around and we do the other side. Feet hip distance apart. Snuggle kind of towards the wall. Extend the left arm backwards behind you, parallel to the ground. Roll the right shoulder up, back, and down. And try to keep your upper body away from the wall. It can also help your postural alignment by drawing or bringing awareness from pubic bone through navel into the heart. And then exhale, reach with your arm up, stretch. Draw the left shoulder blade on your back. And then exhale, rotate both shoulders, shake it out. And then we do what we normally do on the ground in a regular class, Vashistasana, sidearm angle, sidearm balancing pose, not angle. Feet are again still hip distance apart, but now you bring your right arm into a 90-degree bend. So from shoulder straight to elbow, from elbow up, fingers wide spread. Lift your toes, spread them. Bring one toe down at a time. Micro bend the knee. Now again, pubic bone through navel into heart. And drop the anchor on your tailbone. And once you have that, you take your left arm, reach up, and over your head, reaching to the wall. So again, try to avoid turning the upper body. Right now, we just want to take that left arm over your head towards the wall. Keep the anchor on the tailbone dropping. Now we add a little bit more. Turn the toes to the left, and now look underneath your left armpit towards the ceiling. On your next breath, turn the toes forward again. Bring that left arm around and then wrap it around your back. Roll the left shoulder up, back, and down. And then start bowing just gently. There is not much movement in that, but you will feel all kinds of sensations. Knees bend. Press into the feet. Inhale, reach up with your left arm, right arm meet. Exhale, hands through the heart. And here's my rear for you. We get into downward facing dog off the wall. So feet hip distance apart. Hands in shoulder height, knees bend. And then spread the sitting bones. Take a few nice long deep breaths. Towards the wall, and we do the other side. Vashistasana. Feet hip distance apart. Left arm now into the 90-degree, shoulder to elbow, elbow up to the wrist. Spread the fingers wide. Root through the feet. Inhale, take the right arm, reach over your head towards the wall. And keep the upper body pointing forward. Now we add the spice. Turn the toes to the right. Look underneath your right armpit towards the ceiling. Lengthen the tailbone. Stay with the breath. And then first turn the toes, then gently press away from the wall. Let the left arm come down, turn over, and go one more time into downward facing dog. And I forgot the arm wrap, so we're going back to that in a minute. Do a few cat-cows. Inhale, looking up, arch. Exhale, round, and let the tailbone drop. Now come back up, and we're adding the missing piece. Sorry about that. So bring your left arm back into Vashistasana. Wrap your right arm around your back. And then keeping the left arm as it was set up, bend the knees and just start bowing forward. And I for sure, a big difference between left and right, even if there's just a little movement. So make that note where you're at, what you feel. Then inhale, slowly come upright, release. Clasp your hands behind your back, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Extend the arms away from the back. Bend the knees. Now dive forward and reach with your arms over your head. Let the head hang. Gently shake it in a yes and a no. And then release the arms. Keep the knees bent. Put the thumbs into the hip crease. Push the thigh bones back. The upper back now is parallel to the floor. Hinge yourself back up to standing and shake it out. That's it. Let's get down to the floor. We're doing a forward fold first or next. So if you want to sit on a half folded blanket, and maybe fold another blanket or a bolster for behind the legs, just as a little cushioning. Make sure you have your blocks. Doing Paschimottanasana, straight forward legs. Grab the flesh of the seat apart. And then stack up the blocks in any kind of way. And for the forward fold, use again the idea of the marionette. So you sit up tall and straight, lift through the crown of the head. Now start bowing, reaching forward, resting forehead onto the blocks. And find that height of the blocks where you're not feeling like, I'm like hanging in there. You want to be in a place where you can relax and soften, yet you're finding the edge of that movement, that forward fold. And I rather use a little bit more behind my legs today. I feel that when I do it with a lower level of support. So be aware that these subtle supports can make a big difference in how you approach and how you are in a pose. So give that a try. And I'll just need to steal a clock, a timer. You have another good minute, so if you want to lower the level of your blocks and see if your body follows to go a little further, then support that, but don't push yourself over the edge of the already happening forward fold deeper. And noticing again the crown of your head, lifting forward from there, gently erecting yourself back up. Bring the feet as wide as your mat, do a few windshield wipers. And then we're actually taking this into bridge pose. So you can use this blanket possibly for your head. I encourage you to do as little as possible under the head. You'll find out once you're in the pose. And then you can either grab a block or blankets, or I will use the soft bolster today. My back is a little tender. So you either, if you use your block, lay flat on your back, lift your hips, put the block length horizontal underneath your sacrum. If you use a blanket stack or a bolster, sit on the very edge of the bolster and then lay onto your back and have the bolster supporting your lumbar spine and the sacrum. Feet hip distance apart. And then just arrive here for a moment and breathe and find the support of the prop underneath you. Bring the chin slightly away from the chest. Extend the arms out to the sides, palms up, and then roll onto the outer edges of your upper arms. After you've done that, the chest will start opening up towards the ceiling. Once you've done that, draw the tip of the shoulder blades together on your back. Allow the breath to flow sweetly in and out through the nose. And direct the breath into any area of your choice. If your lower back is at any time unhappy in the pose or tender, then you can also drop the knees together. We're here for another good 30 seconds. And if you're up for it, bring the legs up for supported shoulder stand. So make sure that your chest doesn't collapse when you do that. Big toes touch, toes spread if you'd like, knees micro bend if you feel any tension in your hamstrings. Point and flex. Draw some circles. Reverse them. And yes, we've done that hundreds of times, and every time we're repeating it, play like you've never done it before. And then open the legs sideways, maybe use the hands to give yourself a little support here. And again, if you do that, it actually helps to lift the chest, the heart forward, keeping the knees bent. From here is self-exploration, because you can either tilt the pelvis forward, pull the knees more bent sideways back, so you know where your juicy spots are. Mine is right here right now. So find a position where you're like, that's definitely something I feel, I'm aware of. And then lead the breath right into those areas of your body. Upper body relaxed, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. And put the hands on the outside of the legs, bring them gently back together, down onto the ground, lift the hips, push your support forward so that it can actually be now behind your legs. And just straighten the legs out for a moment. And then reach with your arms over your head, stretching out. Add a sound on the exhale. And then place left foot onto your bolster/blanket stack. Cross your right ankle onto left knee. Right ankle onto left knee, eye of the needle. And then either picking up the left leg, weaving the hands around the back of the left thigh, or some people like to fold it in front of the knee, so give it a try. My variation is today to put the hands in front and then push the right knee away from the chest. Relax the shoulders. Soften also into your glute, especially the right side where we're working on at the moment. And then exhale, release. Bring the left foot back down onto the bolster blanket stack. Straighten the right leg up. Put the hands behind the back of the calf. Keep the knee micro bend and then draw that leg towards your chest. Elbows can floor out to the sides. But try to press through the mound of the toes up to the ceiling while you're pulling your leg towards your chest. And I have gentle trembling here, close to shaking, which is normal. But if you feel that, you know that you're doing something really important for the body in the release department. Also feel like you're dropping into the right outer hip a bit more. Then straighten the left leg forward. From here, gently release the hands, straighten the leg, and then slow motion, keeping core muscles engaged, lower the leg slowly down, and also lengthen it forward on the way down. Once the leg hits the bolster, reach with both arms over your head, stretch out, wiggle, sigh out. And then place right foot on top of the bolster and cross left ankle on top of right knee, picking up the right leg. Weave either the back and around or the front of the knee and around. Flex the feet, spread the toes, drop into your tailbone, into your left hip. Push the left knee away from the chest. Couple more breaths. And then bring the right foot down onto the bolster. Uncross. Bring the hands behind the back of the calf. Keep the knee bent, the foot flexed, toes spread, and then pull that left leg gently towards your chest. But pay attention that you're not curling up right away. You just want to bring that leg towards your chest. Extend the tip of the tailbone while you do that. Upper arms, upper body, relaxed. And on the next exhale, straighten the right leg forward over your blanket bolster support. A few more breaths here. Slowly release the arms and then start straightening the leg, lowering it and lengthening it forward on the way down. Slow motion. Fresh breath, reach up with both arms. Sigh out with a sound. And then bring bottom of the feet on top of your little stack. And take your blocks and bring them sideways underneath your thighs. And remember again not to put the blocks flat, but onto the edge of the block, resting with your thighs on the entire surface. And then you can play with the position of the hands, right hand on belly, left hand on heart, or keeping them extended out to the sides. If you have a sandbag, place that onto your lower abdomen or anywhere else on the body. Welcoming the breath back. Full awareness breathing into the hips, into the bottom of the feet, into any other area of your body. And then do a few butterfly flaps. Hug the knees into your chest. Right arm over your head and then roll onto your side. And press back up. Forward fold is next. So you can sit either on a blanket or a bolster or a pillow. We're doing Upavista, wide-spreaded legs. So you have the choice of putting more support underneath your legs. And if you do so, then let the heel be off the ground and then sit on the very edge of your cushion support. Have your blocks handy. Tons of choices here how you want to set up. You've seen me demoing it many times, so you can either just use the blocks and with a forward fold like we did before, rest the forehead onto the blocks. You could also bring the blocks down like this, be with your forearms on the block, or maybe even resting the chin into the hands. These are all great positions. And then you can also, if you have more props available, build a bridge in any height of your choice. Bring that in and kind of let yourself hang forward over it. Or the last variation would be the ramp, which you can see that from the camera, the highest block, and then in front of that, so that would be facing you in a lower position in front, so that the bolster from here is good supported, and then you bow forward, that way resting over it. So again, tons of choices for this forward fold. Make sure you're comfortable with your setting. Grab the flesh of the seat apart and then get into the pose. Give yourself 5 nice long deep breaths. And then very slowly press yourself back up. Put the props, if you had them, to the side. Bring the feet again hip distance apart. Do a few windshield wipers. And then drop the knees to the left and put the left foot on top of the right knee and let that leg kind of get the heaviness for the opening here, the stretching of the right side. And if you want to turn that into a twist, then you either look over your right shoulder, or you can also do an open rotation and then you look over your left shoulder, or try both and notice the difference. They're just addressing the turns different. And then inhale, bring the feet back up, shake them out, drop the knees, feet hip distance apart, that's important. Drop the knees to the right, take the right foot on top of the left knee, use the weight of the right leg, and then look either over your left shoulder or, if you want, over your right, or both. Not at the same time, obviously. And then slowly releasing. Inhale, reach up, grab the left wrist, pull yourself sideways. Inhale, reach up, grab right wrist, pull yourself sideways to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through the heart, back home. And you're ready for Shavasana. So set yourself up. Props, no props, legs up the wall, any kind of way, you pick and choose. Make sure if you use anything under the head that it's not too high. I don't want to see, which I can't see, but I don't want to have you guys having the chin to the chest nor having the head overextended. So find exactly that neutral spine. That's why the less is more factor really counts for the Shavasana part. Once you're in your position, I want you to listen. To listen to the surrounding noises, if there are any. The art is to recognize them, to be aware of them, but then not to attach to it. So what are the regular sounds surrounding you in your living environment, including noises you may hear out on the streets, or birds or animals around your property, machinery making noises. So these are all the external sound effects. Once you tuned into them, figured them out, let them go, then tune within to the inner sounds. can you open your ears and tune into a new frequency of listening. And then don't worry at all about listening to anything, but just being present with yourself, with the breath, and with everyone who is joining the class, unseen, but knowingly that others are there doing the same similar things than you do. In our own unique ways, of course, but knowing that we're all doing this together. Allow yourself to melt into your mat, merge, and completely let go. Connecting to your breath. Deepening in and exhale. And open your inner ears wider than you ever have. At the same time, recognizing with wider open ears also comes a sense of silence, of waiting to receive what you hear. So you have to focus differently on your surroundings. And as Krishnamurti said, filtering out surrounding noises, screens, which cover up what you hear, how you hear. Start bringing movement back, wiggling fingers, toes. Maybe roll the head gently from side to side. Hug the knees into your chest. Press the spine into the ground. Lift from behind the heart. And then do your own thing to come back into fetal side resting pose. When you feel ready and complete, use both hands, let the wings attach to your heart, lift you back up, eyes remain closed, hands return right back in front of heart space. And ask yourself again, how do you listen? Do you listen with projections, through your projections, ambitions, desires, fears, anxieties, through hearing only what you want to hear, only what will be satisfactory, what will be gratifying, what will give comfort, what will for the moment alleviate your suffering? Or can you listen not only with, as I mentioned, wide open ears, but that connects also directly to your heart? Can you listen also with your heart? Can you put aside the disturbing surrounding noises to really truly being present with the person across from you or with your surrounding environment, to become still from within? The most basic of all human needs is the need to understand and to be understood. The best way to understand people is to listen to them. Ralph Nichols said that, and I think that's homework assignment for all of us, to just be present and to listen in new ways, more than ever important. We'll seal everything in with one final sound of Om. Deep breath in. Bowing to your heart. May all beings be happy, may all be freed from suffering, may everyone be prosperous, may no one ever be unhappy, and may we all live together in peace. Thanks so much for being here today. To a beautiful weekend. Namaste. Thank you guys, and we'll be back. I'll be back with restorative on Tuesday, waiting for 2 babies, so I hope I'll be here. Thank you. And the chat room is open for anyone who may want to be there to just say hi real quick or have a comment.